the poor people in my country, as well as other parts of the world, to be an ambassador for the Zero Poverty Global Campaign. And I am very excited that this is being done here in Paris, which has given us many of their talented young people to help address poverty in our country. Last Friday, I was with the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, and I just wanted to thank him for the partnership we have with France, which is, to me, the hub now for social entrepreneurs in Europe, and also for the nearly 1,700 French interns we've had in the past 7 years to help us build the first farm village university in Asia. And our goal is to really end poverty in the Philippines and other parts of the world. We just have to show that it can be done. And this has been a journey that we have been taking in the last 20 years. And oftentimes I'm being asked, how can an executive of a multinational company and also an entrepreneur decide to start Gawad Kalinga, to be with the most marginalized, to be with the most excluded in society? Anyway, it was very simple. I am raising 5 children, 4 of them daughters, in a world that was becoming less sustainable because of the plunder of the planet, because of climate change vulnerability, because of poverty. And so we started to really address this by providing land for the landless, home for the homeless, food for the hungry, water for the thirsty, light for those in darkness. Just basically a more holistic approach toward addressing poverty. And tonight I was very happy to see the winners of the finalists of the Live for Good campaign this year, because last January we had 5 of them in our Farm Village University in the Philippines, which we built together with our French interns. And it is the first college for social entrepreneurs in Asia. And so even the toy that is the mascot was done by a French entrepreneur working within our farm with 50 mothers. So we are now creating what we call is a global ecosystem. And we're very happy that the competencies of the brightest and the best from a developed country is now also helping us create now a more sustainable development in our country. The Philippines, I'm very excited to also share with you that we are aligned with the SDG, and that is to end poverty in our country by 2030. And it is simply that there is greater consciousness now among our people that it can be done. As you can see here, this used to be a quarry. This was plundered wasteland. And we have transformed this into a beautiful community through the effort of the beneficiaries themselves to provide sweat equity. But at the heart of it is also values formation. And that is to just liberate our people from a poverty mentality that has imprisoned them for generations. And it is important that they get also the most privilege from another country, which is associated with luxury, with the best that the world can offer, because in our country we know France, Chanel, Dior, Louis Vuitton. And so when people from the most privileged come and give the poor in my country the gift of excellence, the gift of quality, the gift of class, then we are actually raising human dignity. It's not just providing the basic necessities of life. And for us, it's really a more spiritual, it's the poverty of the mind, of the heart, not just of the pocket. And what we want the world to see, and for our country to see, that the poor may have small pockets, but they don't have small dreams. And we're very happy that because we provide them an environment that gives them dignity, and people come from the most affluent countries, that we're all the greatest untapped talent to end poverty are the poor themselves. Because if we make the poor unpoor, we're actually enhancing buying power, creating new markets. We're turning just subsistence farmers, the factory workers, to really become wealth creators. And for us, if France is the hub for social entrepreneurs in Europe, we would like to think that the Philippines now is the hub for social entrepreneurs in Asia. And it is also this global partnership operating at the local level. And for us, we have built over 3,000 communities for over 1 million people. And this is through the effort of everyday heroes that we have. And now we are now creating the social entrepreneurship that thinks beyond micro. We would like to think that if we now give also the poor the gift of excellence, that they can actually we can now combine the effort to do micro and macro, that they can actually come up with products that are world-class. And this is precisely the role of the French. They have 400 different types of cheese. So we are now able to develop our dairy industry because we import 98% of our dairy, including 4% from a country that does not even have cows. Now, and so we realize that just like our chocolate, we import 85% of our chocolate from countries that do not grow a single chocolate tree. And so we realize that our poverty has been imposed upon us by 350 years of brainwashing and perpetuated by elite globalization. So we realize that those of us who are privileged with the best education have to go down to give our presence in the lives of the abandoned, rejected, neglected, and help them develop, see their potential to really produce world-class products and become world-class people. And so I come to Convergence every year simply because this is the gathering of people who are not just talking but have done a lot and will continue to do a lot of things. And basically we're focused on really enhancing, expanding more our partnership. I'm very happy to see that we have some people from Aix-en-Provence, from Synergy Solar, who are now also providing solar energy in our country. So again, it's creating shared value for us because this planet is our home. And the poverty in my country should be the poverty in other countries as the poverty in the sub-Saharan Africa. This is also the poverty in France or the poverty in my country. And I came to realize, and that's only possible for us, to really address poverty effectively if we consider the poor as family. And that happened to me at the start of my journey, and that's the reason why I involved my children in this journey. When I started to work with gang members, drug addicts, with out-of-school youth, with criminals, I brought my daughters. They were in their teens. And on one occasion, my 16-year-old daughter was working with street prostitutes, and she came to me crying because her friend, who was her age at 16, has had 2 abortions. She was raped by her stepfather when she was 13, and she was gang raped. And then I looked at her and I looked at my daughter, and I realized that if my daughter was born in poverty in the slum, she could have been that prostitute. And that moment I realized that unless I treat the children of the poor as my family, my own biological children have no future in this planet. And so it has been, it has been the most exciting journey, and I've realized also that the most privileged in other countries, particularly France, come to Gawad Kalinga to look for purpose, to look for value, to look for resilience. And then they come back to France, and they start Ticket for Change, they start Make Sense, they start many other movements. And this year, I'm very excited to see these 5 outstanding young people come to us in the Philippines, and for us to really build this global army to really address poverty wherever it exists, because we are a country now that is exiting poverty. And there are many rich countries that are entering poverty, and they don't have the resilience to address problems like refugees, youth unemployment, massive migration, and so on. And so we have survived out of resilience, but then because of that, we are also now determined to end our own poverty. And we can do it only through global partnership. And for us to really see that, that this planet is our home, that everyone in this planet is family, that together we can indeed end poverty. So you can see here Fabian. He's been in the Philippines for 6 years, and he's the one who made the toys together with 50 mothers. But his goal is to be able to create now the first toy company that will be able to provide jobs for 1,000 mothers. And so we realized that there's no exclusion because of color of skin, because of religion, because of gender, or whatever it is. We came to realize that we can only address the problems that are now of our that affect all of us if we can do it together. And so tonight I would like to really express my deep appreciation for the effort now of Convergence for this 000 campaign, because my country is also the most vulnerable in terms of climate change, and we have been working hard to really also build sustainable communities for our calamity victims. In fact, we're very happy that schools like ESSEC even built an ESSEC village and 50 volunteers every year, and the Polytechnic, HEC, and the other schools are doing likewise. And so we came to realize that the time is coming that we will also, as we grow as an economy, that our rising poor will be, we can think of really outstanding brands, and they will be sourcing the ingredients, like we're buying a lot of lavender now for our social enterprise Human Nature from France. And so again, we would like to really see ourselves as rising markets, that with social entrepreneurs now as the bridge of sustainable prosperity for all. So I want to congratulate all of you, the people now who really are taking responsibility for this planet, and especially for young people right now who will just build a world that is kinder, that is fairer, that is safer, and that's happier than what they will inherit from us. Thank you very much.